Indian textile industry is one of the largest and oldest industrial sectors in the country. It contributes about 14% to industrial production, 4% to GDP and 11% to export earnings. It is the second highest employer in the country, providing livelihoods to nearly 35 million people. Tiruppur in the South Indian state of Tamil Nadu is one of the hubs of this industry. Located on the banks of the river Noyal, this city of 0.8 million people is one of the biggest centers of knitwear in the world. It has 6,250 units associated with the textile industry.
Tiruppur alone, it's 400,000 workers are involved directly in the sense they work for ancillary unit like dyeing, printing, all those places. Then maybe another 2 lakh workers we see for the raw material production. This year, if we see the exports of Tiruppur, last year it was 13,000 crores, but this year we have achieved about 18,000 crores. In rupee term, we have growth rate is by 30%, and in dollar terms about 16%.
But this growth of Tiruppur industry came at a very serious cost. Pollution levels soared, and the Noyal turned into an almost dead river.
4 வருஷம் 92லிருந்து 96 வரை அனைத்து பகுதி நல்ல பயிர்கள் விளைஞ்சது. எல்லா விவசாயிகளும் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அதே நேரத்தில் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக இந்த சாயத்தண்ணி விட ஆரம்பிச்சது. அப்புறம் இது தடுத்து இதில் தேக்கி வச்சு எடுத்து விட்றது. இது தேக்கி எடுத்து விட்ட உடனே அங்கே பூரா கம்ப்ளீட்டாக கொண்டு போய் இந்த சாயத்தண்ணி விட அத்தனை ஏரியாவில் இருக்கிற கிணறு சும்மா கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 6-7 கிணறு எல்லாம் ஒரு கிணறும் 9,000, 11,000, 12,000 டிடிஸ் வர அளவுக்கு இங்கேயே பல லட்சம் தென்னை மரம் போயிடுச்சு, மகசூல் எல்லாம் போயிடுச்சு.
20,000 hectares we have assessed as moderately to severely affected area. Around 2,647 hectares are very severely affected, extremely affected area. To bring back this land is very difficult.
In 1996, the matter reached the courts.
The case started in the year 1996 before the High Court, seeking for a writ of mandamus directing the Pollution Control Board to take action against the polluting dyeing and bleaching units in and around Tiruppur area. So when they have filed such an application, the court had sent notices to the dyeing units and they have inquired about it. Then there was a necessity of the unit started functioning with ETP and they started discharging the effluent within the permitted level of 2,100.
However, the Noyal remained polluted and the aggrieved farmers filed another case in 2003 in the Madras High Court.
Justice Iqbal had passed an order in the contempt application stating that no one should discharge any water. So all the units to be closed. After the thorough monitoring, each unit should submit an application. After the approval of the Pollution Control Board and as well monitoring committee, units should start functioning.
In the year 2011, based on the court order, all the 754 units were closed since they haven't provided full-fledged zero discharge system. So yes, on date about 515 units were issued orders to open the process.
Of the 413 units that are currently functioning in Tiruppur, 70 have installed individual effluent treatment plants to meet the zero liquid discharge norm. Jaya Vishnu Textiles is one such unit.
This dyeing unit is 5 years old company. It's a 20 tons capacity to do knitted fabric dyeing. Now we have installed the ETP for the capacity of 1.5 mld. Our effluent generation is around 1.2 mld. Conventionally, the people were using physical methods like putting ferrous lime in the treatment system. We adopted a direct biological system, both the anaerobic and the aeration system. First the effluent will go into the anaerobic tank, then it will pass through the lamella clarifier and then it goes to the aeration system.
After primary treatment, the effluent enters the filtration systems.
In the fourth stage of reverse osmosis recovery, we could get 92% of good water back. Recovered water is being utilized for our dyeing purposes. Moreover, the water we are recovering sodium sulfate as a salt. This is again being used into our process.
The remaining 8% reject from the system is sent to multiple effect evaporators. The condensate form of evaporators is recovered and the reject is further passed through falling film evaporators, where the salt and water is recovered. About 2% of the remaining reject is laid out in the sun in solar pans to dry. Here, the water evaporates, leaving behind the sludge. Tiruppur's remaining 343 units have taken recourse to 17 common effluent treatment plants, or CETPs. The CETPs function with the same technology as the individual effluent treatment plants. The Arulpuram CETP, one of the 18 such plants in the district, receives effluents every day from 15 bleaching and dyeing units, which is collected in a stilling well. The alkaline effluent is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid in a process called neutralization, after which it passes through a clarifier and a bio-oxidation tank. Then it is sent to the filtration, ultrafiltration and reverse osmosis units. And the filtered water out from these units is sent back to the companies for reuse. The filtration rejects are sent to Mechanical Vapor Recompression Evaporation Unit, referred to as MVRE, which evaporates the effluent, and the evaporated effluent is collected for further treatment. The brine or the reject left behind in the MVRE is sent for solar drying. The evaporated and condensed effluent from the MVRE is sent to multiple effect evaporators, or MEE. MEE evaporates the condensed effluents at different temperatures based on the boiling point, and the water is recovered. Adiabatic chiller with the MEE assists in reducing the temperature of the effluent and reduces the volume of the reject, which is evaporated in the MEE to recover the salt. The rejects left by the MEE or the sludge presently has no treatment and is stacked up at the effluent treatment plant premises.
Member units are connected through pipeline. Main pipeline is there. Through pipeline we are collecting the effluent. After treatment we are sending back the treated water to the member unit through separate pipeline, recovered water pipeline. 250 rupees per KLD we are, our expense is coming. Out of which 100 rupees we will get as a benefit, that in the form of water and salt. Balance 150 rupees we are spending it for zero liquid discharge.
Right from the letting into the effluent until we take the good water and the salty water, each section has monitoring meters which is being connected to SCADA, to the pollution control board, and anyone on the earth can see it. We are proud to say we are not letting out even a single drop of water.
90 to 92% of water we will get back. Then 3 to 4% as a brine and balance 1% as a salt. So totally we are getting back, and 98% will get back. Only 2% will go as a waste in the solar plant.
About a ton of sludge is being generated every day by the units collectively. This is being stored in a landfill.
Now the sludge generated from these dyeing units are being transported to that cement industry for co-processing. So it will be useful to that cement factory also.
The industry though says that the zero liquid discharge technology comes with a downside. It is expensive.
If you compare, before zero liquid discharge our price was cheaper by 30%. After zero liquid discharge our price has gone up to 40%.
இதற்கு முன்பு இருந்த நொய்யலை விட இப்பொழுது வந்து நொய்யலில் அந்த சாய கழிவு நீர் வந்து செல்வதில்லை என்பது உறுதியாக கூற முடியும். அதிலும் அந்த அதிகமான செலவு பிடிப்பதன் காரணமாக இரவு நேரத்தில் பல சாயப்பட்டறைகள் வந்து தண்ணீரை வந்து திறந்து விட்டு விடுகிறார்கள்.
We have tested surface water and groundwater samples from Tiruppur recently, and what we found is that the pollution levels are certainly much lower than what were reported 10-15 years back. Of the major environmental problems that is there in Tiruppur, Tiruppur has solved just one of the challenges, and that is chemical pollution from textile industry. There are few challenges that still remains. The first challenge is how do we reduce biological pollution in the river? The city of Tiruppur is growing, and the city needs to install sewage treatment plant so that there is a better control over discharge of wastewater, and especially wastewater from household and commercial establishment into the river. Otherwise, the gains made by reducing chemical pollution from the textile industry will be lost. The second challenge that Tiruppur faces is decontamination of land and water bodies. Our test results shows that there are areas which are still highly contaminated, and those areas need to be decontaminated, which includes decontaminating a large stretch of the river, as well as large part of land which were destroyed because of pollution from Tiruppur. The river is much cleaner now, so the technology is showing some result. But still the pollution levels are higher than the standards. We have high level of pH at some places, in some tanks. The technology has worked, both from resource efficiency and pollution point of view. You have water being reused, you have chemicals being recovered and reused, as well as economically. If you look at the history of Tiruppur, after the installation of these technologies, still Tiruppur is growing. Companies are able to afford these technologies. But there are companies who are doing illegal discharge, are not meeting standards. And we believe that it is the responsibility of Pollution Control Board to be much more vigilant.
Pali is located in an arid, water-scarce region of western Rajasthan. 70 kilometers east of Jodhpur, it lies on the banks of a seasonal river called Bandi. The town is known for its small-scale textile industry, which employs about 50% of Pali's population and has an annual turnover of 70 to 80 billion US. Pali has been a textile hub since the 1970s. Earlier, the units were mostly involved in hand printing of cotton textiles. But by the 1990s, they started shifting to synthetics. Today, Pali's industry is divided between 60% cotton and 40% synthetic textile mills. Of the 800 units in the town, 200 fall under the orange category and do not discharge any effluents. Remaining 600 are under the red category, identified as highly polluting units. Of these, about 75 to 80 are non-operational. Pollution has been Pali's key bugbear. Dyeing and printing, the wet processing components of textile units are the culprits. The waters of the river Bandi and the Nehra Dam located downstream of the town, as well as groundwater, have all been severely impacted.
करीब 25-30 साल हो गया। उन्हों पहले नदी बहुत बढ़िया थी, थोड़ी ओकेरी खोता का पानी मीठा आता, हमारी गांव की पनगट यहाँ पर आती और पानी ले जाते थे और पीने लायक ये पानी था। और 20 साल 30 साल हो गए, इसके बाद में ये पाली की फैक्ट्रियाँ लगी और ये प्रदूषण का पानी आने लगा। उसके बाद में हमारी ज़मीन भी बर्बाद हो गई और हमारे पीने के पानी की समस्या भी भरपूर हो गई है।
गांव के अंदर पहले कोई बीमारी से समझता नहीं था, पशु मर रहे हैं, आदमियों को कैंसर हो रहा है, दमा की बीमारी हो रही है।
The residents of Pali have fought back. The town has a long history of legal struggles, with the first case having been filed in 2004.
2004 में पाली में एक महावीर नगर विकास समिति करके एक संस्था थी। उस संस्था ने एक पीआई लगाई थी जोधपुर हाई कोर्ट में। उस संस्था का उद्देश्य था कि जो रहवासी कॉलोनी के आसपास जो इंडस्ट्री आ रही है और वो एयर पोल्यूशन से पीड़ित थे, उससे निजात पाने के लिए उन्होंने पीआई लगाई। जो माननीय कोर्ट ने जो फैसला दिया वो ये दिया कि पाली की इलीगल इंडस्ट्रीज़ है उसको या तो बंद कर दो आप, और या उसको नए इंडस्ट्री एरिया के अंदर शिफ्ट करो, और जो नुकसान किसानों को कितना हुआ है उसका एसेस हो, और इस पोल्यूशन को किस तरह से कम किया जाए उसके लिए अगर नए CTPs की ज़रूरत है तो वो बनाई जाए। जब बंद कर दिया तो वो फिर से हाईकोर्ट की एक डबल बेंच में उन्होंने स्टे लेके आ गए।
In 2014, the case was transferred to the National Green Tribunal. The tribunal ordered closure of all the textile units which were operating without the consent to operate permission. 80% of Pali's units, which mainly use chemical dyes in their process, fall in this category. The order is yet to be implemented as the industry has sought a review. Pali's 515 operational units are connected to a centralized system of 4 common effluent treatment plants or CETPs through open drains. The units do not do primary treatment and the effluents directly reach the CETPs for treatment. The CETPs do a physico-chemical treatment followed by extended aeration and sedimentation. Lime, ferrous sulfate and polyelectrolytes are then added to flocculate and coagulate the contaminants. Finally, these pollutants are trapped in the form of sludge, which is dried and disposed of in nearby areas.
यहाँ पर टोटल 4 संयंत्र बने हुए हैं जहाँ पर पानी ट्रीट होता है, जिसकी क्षमता 34.68 mld है। अभी हमारे जो प्लांट वर्तमान में जो चल रहे हैं उनकी डिज़ाइन 2500 COD के आसपास की है, और चूँकि एफुलेंट 4500 COD का आ रहा है तो उस वजह से हमको थोड़ी सी नॉर्म्स अचीव करने में दिक्कत आ रही है। हमारा निरंतर पॉल्यूशन बोर्ड से भी यह आग्रह रहा है कि विद इन लिमिट अगर कोई पानी इकाई डिस्चार्ज करती है तो उसको चेंज ऑफ मशीनरी की, मॉडिफिकेशन की, अपग्रेडेशन की सुविधा दी जानी चाहिए। लेकिन बड़े दुख की बात है कि अभी तक भी हमें मॉडिफिकेशन की या चेंज ऑफ मशीनरी की इजाज़त नहीं दी जा रही है। यहाँ पर रेड कैटेगरी वाली लगभग 600 इकाइयाँ हैं जिसमें फ्लो मीटर लगाया जा चुका है। फ्लो मीटर लगाने के पश्चात जिसको जितनी KLD आवंटित की गई है उतनी ही KLD में वो पानी डिस्चार्ज कर पाएगी। उनका सीधा सिस्टम CTP से जुड़ा हुआ है। पानी कोई भी इंडस्ट्रीज अगर ज़्यादा डिस्चार्ज करेगी तो वो हमारे यहाँ पर अलार्म बजेगा और उसको हम रोक सकेंगे, उस पर नियंत्रण रख सकेंगे।
Pali's treatment systems have several problems. As the textile units do not do primary treatment before sending their effluents to the CETPs, the system fails. The CETPs have a total capacity of treating 34.68 million litres of effluent per day. However, they receive only about 17 mld and hence are not utilised optimally. Add to this an ineffective drainage system and illegal discharges by some units directly into the river, and you have a recipe for a system that flops. Also, Pali's CETPs work with obsolete technologies as they do not treat the water for colour or odour. Dumping the sludge is creating its own set of problems. It is leading to soil and groundwater contamination through leaching. In 2014, Pali's collector ordered the textile plants to stop using the drains as the practice was polluting the groundwater. Today, tankers transport the effluents from the textile units to the CETPs. The treated effluents are not reused by the industry, but released into the river Bandi.
हमारा प्रयास है कि जो बांदी नदी है यहाँ पर उसमें किसी भी तरह का अनट्रीटेड वेस्ट वाटर डिस्चार्ज नहीं हो, उसके लिए जीरो लिक्विड डिस्चार्ज के लिए हम प्रयासरत हैं। और यहाँ पाली में करीब 70 उद्योग ऐसे हैं जिनका वेस्ट वाटर डिस्चार्ज करीब 100 KLD से ऊपर है, तो उनके लिए भी बोर्ड ने निर्णय लिया है कि वो अपना खुद का ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट लगाएं और RO प्लांट एडाप्ट करें, साथ में जीरो लिक्विड डिस्चार्ज भी जो है वो मेंटेन करें। इस तरह के प्रयास जो है चल रहे हैं।
होना ये चाहिए कि हमें ये पता होना चाहिए कि हमारी गंदगी कितनी आ रही है और हम किस तरह का प्लांट लगाएं कि अगर आप ट्रीटमेंट करते हो तो क्यों ना पानी को पुनः यूज करो, नदी में केवल साफ पानी आना चाहिए ताकि वो पानी भी बचे, समस्या भी नहीं हो।
Tests done in 2014 by Center for Science and Environment indicate that Pali continues to be plagued by very high pollution levels.
The CETP at Pali uses conventional treatment technology, which is a combination of primary and secondary treatment based on activated sludge technology. We have tested surface water samples, we have tested groundwater samples recently, and none of the samples are meeting even the basic pollution norms. Some of the samples are so polluted that it seems as if no treatment has happened. The DO level, the dissolved oxygen level, the pH level, the COD level, the TDS level in these samples are so high that it should not be acceptable to be discharged in the river. And unfortunately, the ground reality is that this level of pollution is being discharged and it is destroying the environment, it is destroying the river, it is destroying the water source of the community. We have tested groundwater samples, we have tested water samples from the well, and what we find is that those drinking water samples, the only source of drinking water that those villagers have, are also highly contaminated. But that's the unfortunate reality of Pali. The conventional technology needs to be changed. In fact, we need a stronger judicial intervention to make sure that technology is changed and environment is cleaned up in Pali.